What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 4, where we have a best of 2. House is Down going up against Together We Did It. Currently, House is Down up one game, so we'll see if Together We Did It can pull it all together. They're running with a different player this time. Maybe that'll help, maybe it'll hurt, who knows. At any rate, I'm Mike Loris. I've got Grandis here as well, and man, last game was certainly very interesting. Do you think Together We Did It have to change up a lot, or not at all?
As far as draft is concerned, I'm not sure if they need to change much, but how they played the draft is really where I felt a disconnect. Like, you have the lycanthrope going for Midas, then back into an armlet, and then into a BKB, and then the puck going back for a Midas after the Dagon, and just a couple of botched fights was really all it took for them to throw away any advantage that they have. And honestly, taking it late up against a Morphling that really wasn't touched outside of the laning phase is a pretty risky move, and they end up getting punished for it.
Yeah, so it's very hard to out-carry a Morphling with a scrap together Lycan and a puck with a Midas down the line, and well, yeah, as you said, they ended up paying for it. So maybe it's just an execution error, maybe it's a draft error. Like, sometimes you just have to draft yourself into a different style, draft yourself into heroes that play a certain way, and that forces you to play in the correct way. And well, who knows what's going to happen. It's going to be a Brewmaster first pick for Together We Did It. Was previously banned, I believe, as Lycan probably is the one to take his ban spot now, along with an Ogre Magi, whereas the House is Down can open up with a Scarith Mage and a Puck. Usually it's Scarith Mage Centaur, but Centaur's still in the pool, and up against Brewmaster, I would expect the House is Down to try to want to get that hero.
Yeah, I think that's pretty likely for them. Just throw the puck towards the mid and then center towards the off lane. Yeah, they already have some decent control for this Brewmaster, and that's kind of to be expected. Picking up Scarith Mage with a nice point-click silence to stop him from getting off the split, as well as Lightning Rift. They have some decent tools at their disposal. Burst him down before he's able to get off that spell. Faceless Void for now is going to be banned from TWDI. I wouldn't be surprised to see Centaur as well taken out.
Yeah, Centaur is just so damn good versus Brewmaster. He blinks in, claps, splits. Suddenly you stampede, and then you actually can't kill anyone as Brewmaster. You have to waste a lot of time charging forward, and that's time that you really want to be spent just hitting people in the duration of that split. So if it's not banned out, then I think it's a pretty easy pickup for the Houses Down. It's going to be an Ember Spirit, actually, to take the ban. I guess it's a similar situation there. It's like you could blink, clap, split, and Ember, and you won't actually be able to get the kill because you'll just Remnant away if he has Remnant at all. But, you know, Centaur could do a similar thing for the entire team, so I guess there is that to deal with when you're playing a Brewmaster. He's up against two silences, and Brewmaster up against more and more crowd control is more and more of an unhappy hero.
Definitely. As you've been talking about the Centaur, that's definitely a really good choice for the Houses Down. Maybe they'll shy away from it if they're deciding on throwing this puck towards the offlane. If they do, there's plenty of supports left in the pool for them to pick up. But I wouldn't be surprised if they went for that Centaur. As far as TWDI, what they're considering for this next pick, if they want to go safe, they can go ahead and pick up one of their supports. I think Venge is probably the best one in the pool.
Yeah, I think probably I would agree with you too. It's really a necessity of stuns right now, especially when you're dealing with puck. So the faster the stun comes out, the better. That being said, you can't always get what you want, and you already have an Ogre Magi to set up with a Fire Blast. I don't think it's going to be Lina again, but hell, up against this very soft puck Scarith Mage, it could very well work out for 2D. If they do go for that, though, it should be a little bit later, as you generally don't want to pick up Alina blindly. It doesn't really hold up as well as Ogre Magi as far as self-sufficient supports are concerned.
Fair enough. So yeah, we're just waiting for THD to go ahead and pick up their hero. They're going to settle on a Sand King, so maybe they're not going to go for the Centaur after all. They are going to shore up both of their supports. They have a lot of good ways to start this fight, or start fights on their own terms, with like a blinking Sand King and a blinking Puck. A lot of magic damage coming out from these first three picks. Avail eventually down the line, it might be a pretty good choice for them, but early game Blink Daggers are going to be key.
Yeah, and up against a Brewmaster, they're going to be even better, as a Blink Burrow Strike could set up for a Mystic Flare, and that in itself is going to kill off a Brewmaster, assuming you use the seal as well. And if you consistently open up fights with that type of strategy, or with that type of tactic, then you're going to be winning those fights, because Brewmaster without split, or with no, I guess, Brewmaster at all, means that 2D cannot fight. Like, it just is not going to happen unless they're massively fed. If they have like a 6-slotted Spectre or something, well then yeah, they could probably take a fight. But if you get Blink Daggers early on for the Sand King or the Puck, setting up kills early on for the Brewmaster is going to be crucial, and yeah, that's also going to be kills on other heroes as well, assuming they're out of position. So the House is down with a hell of a lot of initiation already. 2D, they are pretty tanky, but the houses down have a lot of damage, so it's kind of balanced there.
Definitely. The houses down, their supports, although they're capable of roaming, are probably going to be more comfortable just sitting back and farming up their own jungle, zoning out an offlaner with the Scarth Mage and his Arcane Bolt. So maybe TWDI can go for something pretty greedy as far as their safe lane is concerned, but for now they're going to go for a Clockwork. Very interesting choice as of now. They don't have anything great to set up for with those cogs. Right now, the thing that's going to be set up most is Scarth Mage Mystic Flare, but THD, we're going to see a Riki, the second one of today.
Oh, really? You got to see one before? Did it win?
No, it was terrible. They played it in the offlane, maxed out Invis level 1, and he was pretty much a walking smokescreen.
Was it the houses down playing it?
No, it was Leviathan in their game on Brazil.
Okay, good. So the house is down, playing the Riki with, so far for today, let's say, a 0% or undefined win rate so far, 0 out of 0. But we'll see how it actually does play out. It's, again, going to offer them yet another silence. And Smokescreen, I think, is like one of the best non-ultimate skills in the game. Just a huge silence would have made it just amazing in of itself. Add that mischance and you're golden. So Riki, certainly here that we don't see all that often. Haven't really been seeing many teams experiment with it. But 2D, they pick up the Clockwork, kind of unprompted, I would say, though it does give them some initiation. I would rather see a Bat Rider in general. Then they pick up a Silencer. I really like the Silencer pick, just going up against the spell casting heavy lineup of the houses down. The Clockwork, I'm not entirely convinced on. I mean, usually pick him up with Scarth Mage or with an Invoker or something. It's possible still for an Invoker, but so far there's not much setup with the cogs, as you said.
Yeah. Well, just to put things in perspective, I like to think of Smokescreen is like a Static Storm from Disruptor, except a little bit smaller and without damage. And just with 1 point, the duration is already longer than Disruptor's ultimate. It's quite sick.
And if you land that on a Brewmaster or something, like Blink Burrow Strike into Blink Strike Smokescreen, Brewmaster's just dead. And the house is down, actually going to take care and ban out an Anti-Mage. That's actually pretty weird, considering how many forms of crowd control they actually have. But together we did it. They have a Silencer right now. Might be played as support, might be played as core, so it's hard to really get that guessing game down for the houses down. Honestly, I don't really know what Together We Did It are aiming for in their draft, aside from just a little bit of team fight, but even their team fight isn't the strongest. Like, they don't have a Ravage to work with, although still a possibility. It's pretty unlikely.
Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. If I'm THD, I'm not the most scared of an anti-mage coming out from the enemy side, but maybe they're just going to go for like super, super greedy lanes. Go for like an off-lane Riki, Puck in the mid, and then pick up something else as their safe lane farmer. I'm personally not a fan of off-lane Riki unless you really get aggressive early and can look for kills and have supports that can do that. And THD have some decent roaming potential from their supports, but I don't think that even Scarth Mage and Sand King is enough to really warrant it. Riki, he feels like a worse bounty hunter in the offlane without track.
And track is pretty much why you pick up a bounty hunter, so you're going to have to do some pretty serious heavy lifting. I think in all the Riki games I've seen so far, it was very underwhelming for the first couple of levels, but he found himself with a couple kills, and then he ended up being a good hero, but that's not something you can depend upon all the time. Hopefully for this game, I want to see a Riki that just really works out. Like, he doesn't have to go 10-0-0. I just want to see him with a lot of contributions, a lot of notable plays.
Because as of now, I think I've seen one Riki in recent memory, and by recent memory, I mean like 2 months ago, that actually had an impact. And actually, I think that was Leviathan, if I'm not mistaken. THD, they're going to go for a PA. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that these lanes could shake down. You have off-lane Puck, mid-Phantom Assassin, safe lane Riki, mid-Riki, safe lane PA, off-lane Puck, off-lane Riki, mid-Puck, safe lane PA, or any variation of that. They could go pretty much whatever they want.
So it's going to be a guessing game for Together We Did It. The question is, how do they actually want these lanes to shape up? Like, assume they know where everyone from the houses down are going. What do they want to match everything up with? Because to me, it doesn't seem like there's any clear matchup here.
No, there really isn't. Brewmaster should win up against the Phantom Assassin Riki, but then again, isn't going to completely shut them down either. I think I'd personally like to avoid Riki versus Brewmaster in the mid matchup. We'll just have to see. It's going to be a last big Spectre for TWDI. Huh. Okay, so is that a support silencer? I really don't like that. It looks like it is.
Support Silencer is like one of my least favorite heroes just because he doesn't do anything. that being said, Ogre Magi, Clockwork, Brewmaster, those heroes do enough to overcome the fact that you have a hero that doesn't do anything. But these heroes are just going to be protecting a Spectre. And as good as Spectre is in the late game, assuming the house is down, get decent amounts of farm on their Riki and Phantom Assassin, they'll just be able to beat down the Spectre so hard. Plus, they already have a very gank-heavy lineup. I mean, even though Riki and Phantom Assassin typically more on the harder end of carries, they can actually go around and get a couple kills here and there if you present them with an opportunity. And up against the Spectre, they're going to be looking for those opportunities quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, to introduce our sides, on the Radiant side, we are going to have Together We Did It, with Noobs R Us playing on that Spectre, supported by KGB on the Ogre Magi, and a Silencer by Icon. Mid lane, it's going to be Brewmaster by Taku, and an offlane Clockwork by Snoopy.
Alright, so for the houses down, they're going to be sending TMZ down towards the bottom lane as the Riki. Yuka's going to be playing the mid lane Puck, and he is getting some mana regen, because you need to have full mana at all times. Top lane, Vestius is going to be playing the Skywrath Mage, Leposa is going to be on the PA, and Ned is going to be on the Sand King. Quick sentry check down towards bottom. They have no true sight at all.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Well, this is going to be the second PA of the day, I believe, and also the second PA with an Arcana that's a max level, so fun facts here. Either way, these lanes are going to shake down. I'm not sure if this offlane Riki is going to be able to do jack, but lucky enough for him, there is no detection on any of these heroes and not enough gold to buy it, even if they wanted to.
So TMZ is guaranteed now that he's going to be getting farm.
Okay, so I actually didn't think about that before, but offlane Riki is probably the best offlaner at placing wards because you can do it while you're still in invis.
Next level strategies. So they're not going to know that there's an observer ward there, and this is actually might be a bad idea, because then 2D will be like, wait, there's a ward here. We have to get rid of this ward. Let's buy sentries. And then they'll buy sentries for Riki too. So that may end up being bad for TMZ, but he's guaranteed experience right now. Like right now, there's literally nothing that 2D can do in order to stop Riki from getting any sort of experience. And Riki knows that as well. It's not like he's going to be surprised by this fact. He has spotted out everyone. He knows exactly what's in their inventories. He's guaranteed experience, and if he pops out of the permanent invis, he's probably going to die. But that just means you don't do that. Like, TMZ is going to be just fine, and up towards top, Snoopy's going to be in for, well, a gradually worse time in this lane. For right now, he's doing okay, but I don't expect that to be the case for much longer.
Yeah, if Vestius shows his face after dropping a pull here or there, but in mid, it's actually the Brewmaster take quite a lot of damage from the Puck. I'm not exactly sure how that went down. It looks like Brewmaster just got a little too comfortable, and then Yuka pursued him out, just right-clicking him down. But yeah, now that we have Arcane Bullets into Snoopy, he's going to be constantly harassed. Although he has started out with 2 Tengas and a Salve, he'll be able to stay in this lane, although once that's gone, not going to be in for a great time. Ned looking for a big wraparound. They jump onto him with the Phantom Assassin. This very well could have PR first, but Burrow Strike connects, and Snoopy's gone. They'll even give it to the Phantom Assassin.
Ned opening up with boots first. I don't think turned out to be the difference there, as they probably could have gotten the kill even if the Sand King didn't have those boots, but it's going to be a nice little chunk of gold for him. Unfortunately, the experience was split with 3 people, so Sand King's experience, his gain of levels to level 3, not going to be the fastest, but certainly not going to be the worst either. I expect that to be, for the most part, par for the course. Snoopy can't really get kills on the Posa unless he catches them with the perfect cog battery assault, but so far he doesn't have any battery assault, so that's not going to happen. And if it is not perfect, if it's not literally perfect, then the Phantom Assassin is going to Phantom Strike out, and then you can't get the kill. Over towards mid, Yuka still trading hits with Taku. It's still not going to be much of anything at all. So THD just with 1 kill advantage right now, and it looks like it's going to stay the case. At least 2D, they can't actually get that many kills in any of these lanes.
Yeah, Riki, he's getting uncontested experience, and he's getting, every once in a while, a little bit of farm. So he should be doing completely fine. He can't pressure the farm of the Spectre that much. Every once in a while, he could look for a deny, although he hasn't done so yet. With the extra backstab damage, for the second time, we are going to see a Riki go for the max permanent invis build. I'm not a huge fan of it, but if the enemy supports can't kill you and punish you for going for that, I think it's fine, since once he gets level 7, he does have some killing potential with the Blink Strike. I just think going for more points in Smokestring or backstab is generally preferred.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you with that as well, but kind of unrelated, kind of related. Riki is going to be taking a little bit of damage. He doesn't really care about this. He could just walk that one off. A set of sentries was purchased by the 2D side. They ended up having to use both of them to deward this camp, the pole camp, just because this pole camp is literally hell itself to deward. So Ricky now knows that there are sentries, or there were sentries purchased by 2D, but he still knows that he's safe. He's right now level 4, and I don't really know if there is a huge level where Ricky suddenly just decides to go off, especially in this scenario. But once he hits level 6, you will be able to actually put some pressure back onto the 2D side in a substantial way, especially if he gets help from the Sand King or the Skywrath Mage. Seems unlikely right now, but a little bit down the line, maybe it's just going to be Puck to lend a hand at killing off the Spectre.
Yeah. Okay, so Ricky hasn't fully committed to the max invis build, which I like quite a bit. Usually I think getting more points in the smoke screen is a little bit more useful, but I suppose just knocking off 2 seconds of fade time for like a value point is completely acceptable as well. He's gonna put more into backstab.
I think this is probably the right build. Like, I would go for, by level 5, I want 1 and 2, I think, at the very least. Then you can just have that extra point to be thrown wherever. Backstab, I think, should normally be the priority, because, I mean, just with 2 hits, he's messing up the Spectre really, really badly. This is a Spectre with 5 armor and a poor man's shield, and Ricky is working with the poor man's shield himself, so he's doing a little bit of extra damage. It seems like this is probably the best way to play Ricky. As nice as it is to just surprise people with smokescreen silence, it's probably not going to be your highest priority. And, well, speaking of surprises, up towards top, Snoopy's not going to see this one coming. Burrow Strike landing after the Cogs of the Post, unfortunately. Can't get the last hit this time, but it's still going to be a kill for the house is down regardless.
That was pretty much second verse, same as the first for the supports, and we're almost going to see level 3. Onto our Sand King. They might be able to kill this Ricky if they're able to connect with the last word and get him silenced. That does turn off permanent invis. Exactly why, I'm not sure why that's a Dota mechanic, but Dota's a fickle game, so there you have it. Yeah, we don't.
Just accept. But there is also dust on the Ogre Magi now, so they can just go for the Ricky kill anyway. I think it might just be because the way it works is you're constantly casting invis. Like, I have no idea. I'm not even going to try to justify it.
Very well. Okay, so TMZ, his free time in this bottom lane is going to be put to an end. He's going to be last worded up and needs to be careful. Either way, he's going to take that damage, be silenced up, and visible to the enemy team, at least for a small duration. But at least he's having a better time than Clockwork. Clockwork does have level 4, but almost 2 levels behind the Ricky and has died twice, giving way first blood to the enemy Phantom Assassin as well in the process. Leposa this game is going to go for Aquila as well as a Morbid Mask. A fairly interesting build coming out from the PA. Honestly, with such a free start, I might have considered a Midas. But either way, Phantom Assassin is going to be getting quite a lot. They are going to find themselves a Ricky with the rotation of the Puck. Excuse me, that's a Spectre. They'll be able to jump onto the Spectre with the Ricky. And now Icon taking a whole heap of damage coming up from that backstab. 3 points up the invis. He's only with 1 more Blink Strike forward, but that's all that he needs to get off the silencer. My goodness, I'm sorry for that.
I mean, man, Ricky just laid a smackdown onto 2D with a little bit of help from the Puck, just landing that coil orb through as well. But really, it was Ricky with only 2 points in backstab to do most of that damage. And that is just insane to think about. Like, this is not Ricky anywhere close to being at full strength. He's just like a little baby Ricky at this point still. If he picks up power treads or anything with this goal, what is it going to be? A full-on Ring of Aquila. That's certainly going to give him a little bit more agility. TMZ is going to be a one-man wrecking crew. And at this point, though, 2D has the dust to kill off Ricky, you really need the sentries to keep him off the wave. Because unless you have all 3 of these heroes here, I still don't think they have enough to just kill the Ricky unless they get really lucky with the multicast or something, just because these heroes don't do that much damage. So Ricky is going to be running pretty much without an answer for, you know, the greater portion of this game. And now he's maxed out in permanent invisibility. He can go wherever he wants and be perfectly safe in doing so.
Yeah, I don't personally like this build. I think at least 1 point in a smoke screen. But either way, he is going to have a lot more impact than the Ricky we saw previously today. And can feasibly look for kills, especially on like the silencer. If he can isolate him while he's looking for a pull, silencer's just gonna fall. And now with some support coming out from Vestius, they might even be able to go for the Spectre, although it's pretty risky.
Alright, first they're going to lay a couple of observer wards down. I don't know if the Ricky knows that there are sentries on the bottom lane, but it looks like that's going to be irrelevant because they have their eyes set towards mid. Yuka is in the trees. Don't move, Yuka. He's going to get a regen rune pop. Now it's going to be onto Taku. Gets silenced right before he splits. And TMZ, he's going to put the hurt in. That's going to be the death of the Brewmaster. Now Icon is going to try to... Oh, Yuka's going to try to go for Icon. We'll get that kill pretty much solo there. 6-0 for the house is down. And that could have been potentially really bad, but the seal comes out extraordinarily quick. That right there is why we see Skywrath Mages first picked in response to Brewmasters.
Yeah, that Puck stuck inside the trees. He could have been in a hole. heap of trouble there, but in the end just holds on to his auto attacks long enough. He was constantly canceling them since I presume he has auto attack on for Yuka, but in the end it's going to work out for him. They're going to find themselves 6-0. Phantom Assassins free farming up in top. They can't do anything about Leposa, really. Now Power Treads on top of the Morbid Mask of Quill. Now she's gonna jump aggressively, crit down Snoopy! My goodness! Leposa must have been keeping track of, like, the RNG on that crit, because it couldn't have come at a better time.
And to add insult to injury, there's now a Blink Dagger on the Sand... 2 Blink Daggers on the Sand King. So wealthy. No, just one, guys. But anyway, he now is online. The Houses Down have been taking a 7-0 advantage with just 4 heroes and Icon. That's not where you want to be. Concussive Shot is incoming. Blink Strike forward. Arcane Bolt will kill him off. TMZ gonna get Fire Blast within tower range. This is probably their best chance to kill off this Riki, but a Blink Strike outwards to the Scarith Mage. No body blocks in time. Riki is going to go down. It's about time, too. Noobsarus is going to try to follow up onto Vestius, doing quite a bit of damage with that Desolate damage, but Vestius is pretty darn fast. Missile's going to fly through. KGB looking for an angle in, but he doesn't even have enough mana. Dagger, will it be lethal? Yes, it will. Scarith Mage is going to go down, and THD take it 2-0, although they get a Brewmaster kill in the mid lane. Yuka finding a solo kill versus Taku. That should not be happening, man. I mean, THD, they end up giving 2 kills away to 2D, but they don't give them away for free.
Yeah, they definitely don't. That is all of Puck's spells being committed to the Brewmaster, but looks like Brew just bit off a little bit more than he could chew and dropped a little too low. Sand King kills off the Spectre with a Blink Burrow Strike Epicenter, just easy pickings for Ned. My goodness, up in top, after he purchased up that Blink Dagger, he hit it inside the trees before showing himself in lane and farming. And that surprise Blink Dagger worked out huge. And now Phantom Assassin will be able to completely obliterate Icon. Fire Blast is up, the Puck's pursued, hookshot it up by the Clockwork. That's going to be the end of Yuka's life, as Leposa is still going to work on a KGB. Another crit for Leposa, not going to be enough, and now with the Drunken Haze, and Leposa is going to be forced back. This is a Mask of Madness Phantom Assassin. I didn't notice it before, but my goodness. Spectre's going to haunt forward, looking for this kill into Leposa. Leposa is isolated, but with 3 points up to the blower, not the easiest kills. Hasn't gotten a miss yet, but now going to cross upon Noobsarus under the tower. Another Drunken Haze is going to put an end to that. Leposa surviving with less than 50 HP, or 50 HP about, after the Clockwork Flare, but will survive after all is said and done.
And the Puck actually survived that. Like, the Clockwork had him in the phase shift, rocketed, but the Puck jaunted to the orb and dodged the rocket, ended up getting to safety. So while the Phantom Assassin was, doing Phantom Assassin things, only 10 minutes into the game, the Puck was doing Puck things and surviving right under the nose of 2D. The Houses Down end up getting 2 kills. They make very narrow escapes, but escapes nonetheless onto other of their heroes. And because Yuka survived, that means he now has a Blink Dagger. This is Blink Dagger on Sand King and on Puck 10 minutes into the game. This is absolutely terrifying. Not to mention the fact that Phantom Assassin seems to have missed a memo or something. She's supposed to be a late game hero, so I don't know who told her she's an early game hero, but she's certainly playing like it, and it's working out so very well for the Houses Down. A blink into a crit onto a silencer, that's going to get so much work done.
Yeah, it really is. And Phantom Assassin isn't going to slow down. Radiant's Courier gets Blink struck up by TMZ, and now into Noobsarus. They don't get to crit, hookshot misses, and Noobsarus is able to walk in with Spectral Dagger away. Blink strike to his friendly. TMZ is going to be able to make his way out. No detection on the Clockwork or the Brew is going to mean that TMZ is just fine.
Man, why the hell isn't there any detection on the Clockwork? That's the hero you want to have detection on, just because he's always in the front lines. He's going to be jumping even ahead of the rest of your team. They let Riki get away for free, and they end up losing their Courier. I don't think the Courier had that much on it. It actually didn't have anything on it, so it could have certainly been a lot worse, but man, TMZ just sniping that one just with one Blink Strike. Absurd how much this damages Riki does, only with Powered Treads, Aquila, and a Poor Man's Shield. He doesn't have a single real item, or, a single big item in his inventory, and it looks like that's not going to be the case for a very long time. It doesn't need to be the case either. He could just very easily build up something like a Diffusal Blade and just get some really cost-effective action going with this Riki, and still he has yet to pick up a point in Smokescreen. I would say that at this point, it's still a mistake, but
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really care, obviously.
Yeah, he's definitely snowballing hard enough to where it's not an issue, but I definitely think that replace one of those points in permanent invisibility for one Smokescreen. Honestly, I'd like to see 4-1-4, but as you said, it doesn't really matter. Riki's dishing in the damage department with just Aquila, Agility Treads, as well as Orb of Venom, Poor Man's Shield. It's enough. Well, Team Z is going to spot out a handful of heroes, but that's a handful that he can't take alone. In fact, that's all 5 if you include Snoopy coming down from the south and Silencer on the backlines. So TMZ might be in a little bit of trouble. They're going to throw a dagger into the Scarith Mage. Vestius looks to be completely screwed. The Riki probably shouldn't come back into this, and it looks like he won't.
Scarith Mage just really, really wanted his Arcane Boots, man. They saw them coming. Like, Riki was spotting everyone out, but Vestius was like, yo, I have 1,000 gold. I need to buy these boots, man. Although there's a secret shop over here. I don't know if SDS knows about that. He probably could have bought them elsewhere and would have been just fine, but it's only losing one support hero. And in the meantime, mid lane is being pushed. You don't really lose too much, all things considered. So if the house is down, things could have certainly gone a lot worse for them. TNZ has to be really careful right now. He just saw 5 heroes here,
Oh.
but it looks like those heroes are not going to engage.
Okay, so that's Arcane Boost complete on Ned, and then full Basher onto Leposa. My goodness. It's just so scary for them. Leposa's been able to farm pretty much uncontested. This is 4,600 net worth at less than 14 minutes, and insane farm for Leposa. 3-0 and 1 and 103 CS. You can't really ask for much more. And the full YOLO build, although usually it's pretty questionable, in this game, since you're already so far ahead, it might just work out. Although I think BKB is a necessary next item.
Turns out when you get crits whenever you want to, you can do whatever you want. Ned, setting up for an epicenter up towards high ground. Yuka's here as well. Nice 2-man burrow strike. Where's the coil? There it is. Although, was it even used? Yes, it was. Couldn't even tell. That's going to be 2 kills down instantly as Taku's just going to book it to the north. There is a smoke giving chase, and they are going to know more or less where he's going. Well, that is definitely not. No. Guys.
Okay.
Guys.
So, the smoke doesn't pop. Ricky blink strikes it, goes onto the illusion, and then they Mystic Flare, which actually doesn't do damage to illusion. Still find Taku in the end, so it doesn't really matter. So I suppose smoke gang for a kill on Brewmaster, when you tally it all up.
It was a success.
And GG. Okay.
Okay. Well, 14 minutes in. If only 2D stayed for, just 8 more kills. Seriously, but yeah, that was interesting.
That was just so dominant by THD. They looked good when they were on the disadvantageous server, and when they were on their home turf, THD just completely walked all over 2D. I don't think there's much more to analyze. They go for a quote-unquote pubby draft, but it works wonders for them. The offlane Ricky went unpunished. Phantom Assassin goes for the greediest build you can go for and completely crushes. I would have expected THD to hold into there a little bit longer, but Spectre wasn't even close to even thinking about going for a relic.
And even then, Phantom Assassin would have been able to shut everyone down. 5-0-4 on Puck, 3-0-3 on Sand King. Skywrath Mage with 2 deaths, really the feeder of the team, but that's fine because it's Skywrath Mage. That is going to close out the series, guys. THD take the series 2-0 over 2D. We have another set coming. I don't exactly know when that's going to happen, but it's going to be 2D going up against UG. That's going to be damn hard for them, especially off of this loss. So good luck to the 2D. We'll be following them for that one. I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by Grandis V. Any last words before we wait for the next game?
Not really. Really well played by THD. And let's see if TWDI are going to do any better versus Union Gaming.
All right, guys. We'll be right back for that game. It should be, I think, in 10 minutes or 40 minutes. I'll probably check.
It was supposed to be in 10 minutes, but we don't have a lobby yet.
All right. So it'll be up soon enough, guys. Stay tuned.